Mr. Samuels here, wrapping up our discussion of nomenclature with some oddities. Just like learning any language, there are some exceptions to the rule. For example, I before E except after C, that kind of thing. Well, in that same sense, naming compounds in chemistry still requires some sort of things that just are weird. They just break the rule. So, if you see something in the first two columns of the periodic table with an O2, we call that a peroxide. And in here, even though the whole group has a -2 valence, each oxygen has a -1 valence, where it should normally have a -2. So instead of calling this hydrogen peroxide or hydrogen oxide, we call it hydrogen peroxide because of the O2. Same thing if you had a calcium with an O2, the valence of each individual oxygen atom is -1, so we call that calcium peroxide. Acids with sulfur or phosphorus. These guys, instead of replacing the ending, we put it after the R. So for example, H2SO3. You know it's an acid because it starts with H, 3 capital letters, so it's an acid with a polyatomic ion. Now look up SO3, that's sulfite. Remember, ite goes to OUS, but sulfurous acid sounds weird. So we put the ending after the R, sulfurous acid. Just sounds better. That's the way they do it. Same thing with phosphorus. We have H3PO4. Phosphate wouldn't become phosphic. Phosphic acid sounds weird, so it's phosphoric acid. Put the ending after the R. This is only for acids with sulfur and phosphorus. Next we have hydroxyl, OH-. So you're going to treat it like a non-metal. Even though it's got 2 elements in it, it looks like a polyatomic ion. When you name it, pretend it's like a non-metal. So even though this has 3 caps, you recognize OH is hydroxyl. So metal, non-metal, you would change the ending to sodium hydroxide instead of just sodium hydroxyl. All right, next up we have ammonium. NH4+, looks like a polyatomic ion, but since it has a positive valence, that's different than the other polyatomic ions. We're going to treat it like a metal. So if you saw this, you'd be like, what kind of compound is this? 3 nonmetals, that's not even a thing. Non-metal polyatomic ions, not a thing. So this is a metal, remember you treat it like a metal, and a non-metal. So this would be ammonium chloride. NH4 is ammonium, Cl is chlorine, and since it's metal, non-metal, change the ending to IDE. So you can do the practice on your own, but otherwise, that's oddities. Thanks for watching.